Sup, gigglers?
Gary, fix the Wi-Fi.
Manifest that shit.
We can't be managed. I mean, the day just got away from me.
What's up, my gabagool gigglers?
Oh my god, I would do anything for a cold cut sandwich. Wait, do you want to hear one of the funniest things, speaking of cold cuts?
What?
We're really diving in. Yesterday, Craig made me a turkey sandwich, and I was pumped because he had like Russian dressing, Swiss cheese, like just the way I like it. I'm like so ready. I take a bite of the sandwich, and I look at him, and I'm just like, yeah, like it's good. And he goes, you don't like the turkey, do you? And I go, it's like fake turkey. And he goes, do you know how many gigglers I had DM me when I was at the grocery store being like, Paige is going to hate that turkey?
I love how you're the Gordon Ramsay if he was a millennial with an attitude. You're like, ew.
Oh my God. I was like, I just take cold cuts really seriously. And the deli was closed.
Cold cuts, when they're like a little slimy, I'm out. Call the police.
No, I'm out. I'm so out. If you're getting turkey in those little like prepackaged things,
Yeah.
call your mom. Something's wrong.
That's how I feel with tomatoes and apples. Like a bad tomato, I'm like,
It'll send you over.
the texture, I'm off for like months on tomatoes. And like an apple,
Yeah.
you know when you go in for that crisp bite and then it's the word mealy?
Slimy. Mealy. It's
Mealy.
so- okay, here's the thing about the word mealy. I was convinced I made
That's the most Delulu shit I've ever heard in my life.
for like a really long time. I feel like in middle school, I was like, I invented that word.
You go, you know the language we're all speaking right now? I figured that out when I was around 4. I invented the word mama. Also, I did meet a cat in Indianapolis
Okay.
that is part, like, what is it? Part munchkin, they call it? I don't know if that's socially acceptable. Munchkin.
Oh, man.
Munchkin. It's like calling it a Oompa Loompa. Like, do cats want to be called that? Anyway, part munchkin, part Siamese, and part something else. She was so gorgeous, and I sent it to you.
It really was the most gorgeous cat, and it had blue eyes, and she
Yeah.
was just like the perfect amount of like short and stumpy that like
No, I wanted to bite her little freaking little paws. But yeah, I was like in some random girl's house.
no, the thing for me that was so funny is I'm watching the video of the cat, but then like I can't help but look at the background, and I'm just like, wait, where the is Hannah? She's just at some random person's house, like taking videos of their cat. If someone pulled up in a van and said cat's in here, you would
Look,
you would jump in.
if
You
I'm
would
be-
go immediate.
if I'm gonna be kidnapped with a cat, kind of my dream. Just stuck with a cat forever. That's my dream. And actually, it wasn't
like,
a random girl. It was my friend and fellow comedian Sarah Huntington, who I was touring with. And I was telling her how she has to move to New York. Like, I was like, you gotta
Yeah.
move to New York. It's sick. It's the best. It's the best. And she goes, okay, we
Yeah.
have to stop by my house. And I was like, house?
Parda.
I was like, house? And it's like
Excuse
a
me.
2-story full house. I walk in and it's like this open floor plan. And I was like, okay,
It's like windows.
this is $8 million in New York City. I take back everything I said. I'm so sorry.
Sometimes it is nice to just like have a sliding glass door, you know, and feel that feeling of opening a sliding glass door. It's life changing.
Sometimes it's nice to not have your toilet touch the shower.
Right.
Or like to actually have a cabinet underneath your sink.
There's so many things that we live with that like if I went somewhere else and I walked in, I'd be like, no.
I watch HGTV and these people walk in and they're like, it's $200,000 and there's a balcony. And I'm like, what? What the? And the girl's like, yeah, like I walk salamanders for a living. I'm like, what? And I'm so on my HGTV like era.
When I first moved to New York and I lived with a roommate, I didn't realize like what it was like sharing a bathroom with girls until one morning. And my roommates were like workout freaks. Like they woke up every morning. They like went to spin class at 6 a.m. They like
So you
came
feel
home, they, like,
shit about yourself when you didn't even ask for that kind of like assault in the morning.
No, my body was shutting down. I was like, oh my God, no, I can do it too. Like, I want to be one of the girls. And I went to this like spin class at 6 a.m. And then we went back to our apartment. My girlfriend made me drink a hot water with lemon like immediately after. Hannah, the one girl was in the shower and I went in and I go, you don't understand. I'm going to shit myself. and it was that moment where I was like, I can't have a roommate. Like
The one thing I do have to say about working out, it is a laxative. If you're blocked up,
yeah,
go to a group workout class because you'll have social anxiety and you're working out. So my whole body's like, no.
No, I was in fight or flight and they were like, we lost. Like, no.
Speaking of fight or flight, I've been on the road and I do have to say first off, the Gigglers are that girl. Like the Gigglers are coming out and like the Gigglers, like we don't deserve them.
No, I know.
Like they're all so cool and so fun and like they're just the best.
Every interaction I have with a Giggler, like I don't know what it is, but as time goes on, they get increasingly funnier.
What did that girl say in Times Square? What did she say? We were in by Penn Station. She was just like,
wait, we saw this girl after the Knicks game and she came up to me and she goes, hi. And the first thought in my head always is, wait, I know this person from high school or college and I'm not remembering it. And so the way she said hi, I was like, hey. And she said, I met you at a bar and I came out to you as being a lesbian and you were so supportive. And I just started dying laughing. I was like, oh my God. I don't know why I was saying thank you to her. I was like.
Then she just like walked away into the abyss of the city. And you were like, go off, girly.
I know. It was like one of those moments where I was just like, New York is not a real place. Like, it's just
we
real.
never go to Midtown Manhattan. Well, you live there, but like you never actually go outside. So I was standing in Midtown Manhattan with you and like Gigglers started to like appear and I felt like we were like Elmos in Times Square where they were like, hey. But speaking of traveling.
Okay, so you're on the road and what happened?
I had an unfortunate incident where I had to take Southwest. Now, if you're in a place where like they always take Southwest, I'm not coming for you. I'm a Delta girly, and if I say girly one more time, I'm gonna punch myself in the face, but I can't stop it. I was in Maryland and I had to go to Kansas City, and Southwest is the only option. So I go, you know what? I'm gonna spoil myself. If I'm gonna do Southwest, I'm gonna go A10. Like I'm going A10. I'm gonna be in the front and I'm gonna get my good seat. So I show up like half an hour early. I go to McDonald's. I get myself a little breakfast. I'm doing my thing, you know. I have my own routines.
You have your morning routine.
I have my own routine. I go to the bathroom. No. And then I come back like right by boarding time and people are already lined up. And I was like, okay, like it's like a new cult that you're not a part of.
Right. You don't know the protocol.
But I know I'm A10. So then you have to go and everyone looks at you. Like, and you're like, I'm 10. And the girl in front of me was like, this is A5 through A10. And I was like, I know, I'm A10. And then the husband was like, she's A9. Like, there's always like a weird interaction that I didn't need.
That seems unnecessary.
And then once I'm in the line, then I'm the one that has to, like, when people come in, be like, I'm A10. Again, like, I'm already so over my head. I'm already so stressed out. And I'm holding my McDonald's and an orange juice, which I didn't need. I did not need the orange juice, but I could not say no to the deluxe. So I have my orange juice, I have my purse and my backpack and my luggage. So they finally call us and I'm like, let's go. I look back at all the like people behind me and I'm like, sorry. So bye. So the guy's going fast. He's like, beep, 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 beep. He gets to me and he goes, you need to consolidate all your bags. And I was like, what? And he's like, you have to consolidate to 2 bags. And I'm like, okay. So I try to kind of put my purse into my backpack, like kind of fake. And he's like, ma'am, once you call me ma'am.
Yeah, no.
That's when I know like something bad's going to happen.
It's funny that it's like a respect thing, like ma'am. But when I hear ma'am, I'm like, oh, you don't respect me at all. You want to tell me to off.
I feel like a full Karen. I'm like, having a Karen moment.
Someone's going to videotape me.
So he goes, ma'am, you have to step out of the line. And I look at him and I'm like, but I paid $150. I didn't say that, but like I paid $150 to be A10, not A40, not B. God forbid.
Wait, so if you don't get on, you miss your A10 spot?
There's no seats. no assigned seats. So you just go with the line and you can, it's a free for all. It's the Hunger Games. So I'm like,
so so A10 is just where you stand in line.
In
it has
line.
nothing to do with when you get on the flight.
and then like, Jesus be with you. Like,
Okay, so at this point, you've now stepped out. What number are they on?
this man is going beep, 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 beep. Like, I've never seen someone speed get people on. So I'm freaking out. You know, when you're holding all these things, I don't want my orange juice to spill.
You
So
didn't need the orange juice. The orange juice fucked you. Imagine you just dump the orange juice in your backpack. You're like, here. Is this
Orange
good?
juice was like literally like, leave me to die. Go.
Save yourself, Hannah.
Save yourself. But the orange juice, I'm holding on. So then I open my bag and there's not really room for my purse. So I kind of just
Right.
push the purse on top and grasp
Yep.
it together. And I look at the guy and I'm like, am I good? And he goes, no, you have to zip it. As he's going
Oh,
beep, beep,
ma-
beep, and
This
people are
man
running
chose
by.
violence.
So
I
I'm
mean,
in a
you're at 8:30 by this point.
also, mind you, this is like 8:30 a.m. after I did like
Mhm.
2 shows the night before, and I was not in a good mindset. And I hit that point where for me, it's laugh or cry, and it's a thin line, laugh or cry.
No, you will be laughing with tears in your eyes, and it's honestly quite diabolical.
It's also like, I don't cry that much, but in an airport, I will cry over I don't know what it is about an airport. They're like,
You've hit your breaking point.
It's my
You've
breaking point.
Yeah.
I hold up all my frustrations for the airport. So he's basically like, you have to zip it. So this is where it got a little messy. I'm upset. So I turn and I drop my stuff to try to zip it. And my luggage
Goes
falls
flying.
in front
Okay.
of the line. So it looks like I'm causing like
A traffic stop.
a traffic stop. And like,
Yes.
low key, I think I kind of was. Like, I was like,
You were
okay.
like, well, you're gonna stop.
Well, everyone needs to stop because it was like at 8:40 at this point, and he goes, "Ma'am, you're blocking the line." So everyone's staring at me. Like, there's these lines of people staring at me, and he then puts on his teacher voice, and I get everyone in trouble again, and he goes, "This is what I told everyone. If you don't consolidate your bags, this is what's gonna happen." So I'm fully getting scolded. That's when I was like, okay, this has to turn to laughter, or like I'm going to have a Karen moment and be on TikTok, you know? So I
Yeah.
start laughing hysterically because it was like, I'm at this point sprawled across the floor.
How old is this guy?
He
like,
was like, I think he was like, honestly, like a 39-year-old gay guy. So at that point, I'm flailing, sprawled across the ground, trying to block the people going ahead of me while also trying to zip up this bag that's not zipping.
And so you have the McDonald's bag. You should just put your purse in the McDonald's bag.
The McDonald's bag, my purse was bigger than McDonald's. It just like wasn't good. All I had to do also was
It
just
wasn't happening.
put the purse on my shoulder and put the backpack over it. But I missed this, like, I didn't get the email.
The
It didn't come across my
tutorial. Yeah,
desk.
no, it literally did not come across your desk.
I
I'm
literally
like-
think you know when you just make excuses? I looked at him, I was like, I was in the bathroom. And he's like, I don't care, ma'am. I don't care. So
You're
meanwhile,
like my dog ate it. I like had it here. I swear I did it last night.
and this is the thing about Southwest, like, I get it, it's cheap, but because they're cheap, they're like, we don't give a f about you.
Yeah.
So, like,
no.
At this point, people are just walking over my body.
You're literally on the catwalk. You're a model that's down, and Naomi Campbell has stepped over your deceased body.
Literally, and people are all trying to get in because if they get ahead of me, they get a better seat. So it's like really competitive, and I was literally losing, and I'm all alone, scared in a Maryland airport or something,
Fighting for your life.
fighting
So
for my
what
life.
number are they at this point?
They must have been at like 45. Like, this took way too long, this process.
Okay.
So I finally get it together, and it was so funny because when I was walking there, I was like, I'm actually in a good mood today at the airport. Normally I'm like this close from crying, and the universe was like, oh, just wait.
Just wait.
So he finally lets me on, barely, and
Mhm.
I'm not in the best mood.
Yeah.
And I walk in to like the line, and the girl in front of me goes, "Hey, I really like your podcast." And I start laughing, and I was like, I'm so sorry for whatever you saw back there. I'm really tired. And she was like, girl, I get it. She's like, I get it. Like, people were skipping you. And I was like, no, but like, I'm sorry I missed the announcement. She's like, don't worry.
You're apologizing to literally.
So I'm literally like explaining myself. Like, I'm like, yo, that was a bad edit. Like, that's not what really happened. I go, honestly, that man had it out for me. My enemies were in full
Literally
gear.
conspired with producers. They knew I was Ming. They told me not to get the orange juice.
They knew I was tired.
So what'd you do with the orange juice? You're still holding it?
I ended up drinking it, but like,
Yeah.
honestly, maybe the orange juice like had it out for me from the beginning.
So were you able to get your bags like in an overhead bin space?
Was able to get my bag, and I did end up getting a window seat, but it was like a little more back than I would have liked.
It was traumatizing.
And also, when your whole life is traveling, you become like hyper obsessed with like getting on early so you can get your bag up, and like this is like all I care about now. So I survived to tell tale, but I was embarrassed. Like, everyone was walking by, and I knew that they're like, that's a girl that chucked herself in front of the line. So I was like putting my head down. I was like turning my head. And then I was like, I have to get off this plane because everyone's talking about me right now.
Okay, can I just say, me on planes now, I'm a different person. I'm a full iPad kid. It is like I have been given an iPad to shut me up because I've been complaining all morning. I'm headphones at all times.
You're
like,
gadgets. You have gadgets up the wazoo.
No, I am already on there with my iPad. Like, as soon as I sit down, my iPad flap is flapped open and we are going. Like, we're watching our shows. So I just want to say that not everyone probably was staring at you. Like, I wouldn't have noticed.
I know, but there definitely was at least 25 people, which was like enough to like, that was too much. I care what people think about me.
I actually have a funny airport story that happened to me this past weekend. Usually Craig picks me up from the airport because like suburbia, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy. So he couldn't pick me up this past weekend. And so I had to get No, literally. So I had to get an Uber. And so I walk over to where you pick up the Ubers. And you know how like when people say like when you get older and like senile, like you just say whatever, like whatever you think. I just feel like it's going to be so much deeper for us. I like now have to actively be like, you can't say that. That's so out of pocket. To say to someone that you've never met. So I'm standing.
I love that you're calling yourself senile at 30 years old.
I'm standing where you get the Ubers. Walking toward me is, I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you, Hannah. Santa Claus. Like, full on red t-shirt, like the perfect rosy cheeks, white hair. Like the perfect like stomach where he wasn't like this big fat guy. Like he legitimately looked like Santa, and it took everything in me as he's walking by for me not to be like, oh, like is this where you vacation?
Because I feel like you feel like I'm next to you because you know I would have enabled that. But if you do it alone, you're a psycho. If you're with a friend, it's cute, it's funny. Alone, you're bullying an old man.
I was like, wait, that's straight up bullying. Like, you might as well have like stuffed him in a locker.
You grab his glasses and step on them.
I was like, you're gonna comment on this poor man's weight and like his rosacea? Like, that's being evil. And then I was like, well, I could have said like, clearly I'm on the naughty list. And then I was like, stop thinking about
Then you're trying to an old man who has psoriasis.
It was like so, oh my God. I literally laughed to myself in the car for 20 minutes.
I got in the wrong Uber this morning coming back from JFK. No, from LaGuardia. Because I was waiting for my guy. And you know, sometimes it shows where they are, but they're not there. But I look up and this car is right in front of me and it says it's right in front of me and they're both white cars. And the guy was like standing there and I kind of look at him and he gives me this look like, finally, I've been waiting. And he was like, I've been here for 5 minutes. And I'm like, oh, sorry, the app didn't show that. So I get in and then like 2 minutes in, he's like, so we're going to Brooklyn? And I was like, no. and then we had to go
Oh my
all
God.
the way back around. And when you're in an Uber that isn't yours, you are scared. Like, I was like, get me the out of this car.
No, not only are you scared, but if you get in the wrong Uber at an airport, that's it. You're gone. Like when they drive, you're gone. That's it. You're done. You're taken.
And then
To go back around, that's nightmarish.
It was a
After
nightmare.
getting off a morning flight.
all I
no,
wanted
no,
to do
no.
was pet my cat. So then, I know I've been doing a lot of traveling, and my friend Tracy was driving me. Tracy Carnazzo, shout out, and
Yeah.
comedian. And we went to get Dunkin', as we do. We came back, and I was spacing out, and I just opened the car door to a car that someone was in.
Like not an Uber, like a
Like,
human.
A human's like the guy must have just been sitting. I don't know what he was doing, but I like go all the way in. He looks at me, I look at him, and I just shut the door. Nothing was said. And then I walk to Tracy's car. I do that all the time with my own car. I walk into other people's cars. I don't know. Every car looks the same.
No, I don't. I don't do that often. My toxic trait is I'll just get out of a taxi because I forget you have to pay at the end, and then it looks like I'm literally trying to like dine and dash on this guy. Like the people
Yeah.
on the street are like, "Wow, that woman sucks." Like she's trying to
Because
not
then
pay
they
a
start
taxi.
yelling. They're like, "Miss,
Yeah, and I was
ma'am,
like, I'm sorry, I forgot.
ma'am."
Like it's usually on the app, and they're like, yeah, just pay us.
oh God." Also,
Anywho,
I made another embarrassing moment when I was in San Francisco 2 weeks ago, and I forgot to address it, and I need to apologize to the Academy. Tell me if you've done this before, because you smoke weed.
Okay.
I don't, but I feel like I have the brain of someone who's smoked weed since a young
Yeah.
child.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing like the biggest theater I've ever done, the Masonic in San Francisco. I'm so excited. And my friend, who I've known for like 4 years, DM'd me a couple months ago and was like, "Hey, I'm going to be in town. Can I do some time on the show?" And I was like, "Absolutely. She's a great comic." So I get there, and I'm really excited to see her. And like, we're kind of like excited energy, nervous energy. And then the guy's like, "It's time to start." And I'm like, "Okay, great." And I get to the front, and I start doing they call it the voice of God, where I'm like, "What's
Yeah.
up, San Francisco?" And as
Yeah.
I say San Francisco, I realize that
You're not in
I
San Francisco.
completely blanked on her name. This is my friend of
No.
4 years.
No, Hannah, this is
This is my literal nightmare. And to the point where like I know her name, but on like because of your nerves, when you just blank out. And
Yeah.
like you hear like it was like 2,500 people. You hear the room, and she's looking at me all excited, and I'm looking at her, and I'm like, yeah, like and I panic, and I look at her, and I go, well, what are your credits? Like as if that she would tell me her name, and she's like, "Oh, I do this podcast." And I'm like, "She does this podcast." And then I'm pausing, and finally I'm like, "What's your full name?" And she looks at me like, "You
Hannah.
crazy, tells me the name." And her family's there. Like it was. So then I say her name. I realize also because I'm a visual
Adele
person.
Dazim. You should have just said
So it was the most embarrassing thing. Like I'm sweating talking about it. So
oh my God.
like my only job is to introduce her, and
Right.
not only do I forget her name, but I pause on the mic to be like, "What's your name?" She gets on stage.
Did
she
people
goes,
in the crowd hear it?
they definitely heard me like go off the mic, like it wasn't smooth.
Yeah.
And she goes on stage and she's like, "Hannah fully forgot my name."
Oh my God. Okay, that's like the best thing about comedians because then her going out and like drawing attention to it, like that's hilarious.
So apparently it's a thing that like when you're announcing people, like all the time comics will like blank on the name. Like it's just like I don't know. But this was bad because I've known her for 4 years. Like what the is that? So I'm backstage and I'm like reeling. Like I'm with Andrew Collin. And he's
Yeah.
like, "It's not that bad. It's okay. You're going to be fine." So then I realized like I know her Instagram, but her Instagram is not her full name. And so she came back and I was like, "I could just think of your Instagram. Like, I'm so sorry." And she was like, "Oh my God, I don't give up. But like, I will wake up in the middle of the night and think about what I
And-
did."
Yeah. Because it was just like an embarrassing moment though. It's not like she's mad about it.
She's so not mad at all, but it's like, I take pride in like, I'm bringing her on my show
Knowing
and like
people's
I love
names.
her and she's amazing, and then to look someone in the face and go, "What's your name?" Like that was it felt mean. It felt like I didn't care, and like I'm just an idiot. Do you know those people's
So
names
you-
you can never remember, even though you've known them for like 7 years?
Yeah, all the time.
You ever someone says
Because-
their name and you're like, that's not your name. That doesn't match. That's not your face.
And there's also like names that are the same. Like we've talked about this. Like if your name is Morgan, your name is also Taylor. Like, and that's just like it is what it is. Like that's not. It has the same energy.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
And like
Yeah.
if your name is Stephanie, you could also be a Jessica.
Yes. Yes.
And that's just science.
It's like Ashley and Michelle, same person.
Yeah. Same That's the same person.
Literally the same person. Okay.
Like I also do like Francesca and Sophia. That's the same person.
Same name. Same person.
Same name. Same name.
I do that with guys too. Like some guys' names like Matt and Sean. I can't.
That's the same
Matt and
guy.
Sean are the same name.
Yeah.
But when someone's face looks like a Matt, but their name is Sean, I'm like, I'll never get this.
And like to me, everyone's name is Nick. Like that's
Guys and girls.
yeah.
but this is classic. Like, you know, when someone comes up to you and you forgot their name and you go, oh, I want to introduce you to Hannah. And then you just kind of wait.
Yeah.
So this was one of those moments, except it was fun in front of 2,500 people. That's the problem. My show's getting bigger. There's a bigger chance of embarrassment. Like, remember I called that woman
Okay.
pregnant? That was only in front of 400 people.
I was just gonna say, what moment haunts you more? Literally calling a non-pregnant woman, asking her when her due date is, or straight up forgetting someone's name in front of 2,500 people.
I have to say, forgetting someone's name in front that I know in front of 2,500 people, because
Thank God they couldn't see you. You would have started peeing your pants.
oh, if I did it in front of them, that's even worse. But normally before the show, I like get their full name, I write it down, and then I get all their credits. And we were like really nervous and excited, and I'm not making excuses. I'm dumb. The thing with the pregnancy one is, I came up with so many excuses. I was like, okay, baby doll dress. Okay, it's a Sunday.
Yeah. Right.
I literally gaslit her. I was like, your hand was on your stomach. Don't put your hand on your stomach unless you want to be called preggers.
You literally held up a sonogram. I saw it. And showed the person next to you. So
I go, you're wearing pink. You clearly just came from like a gender reveal party. And afterwards, I got to talk to her and literally be so apologetic. Where with this comic, I was like, I'm so sorry. And like, it's kind of thing where it's like, look, you did what you did. Okay.
You did what you did. No, I get it. I haven't had, now that I'm saying it, I'm like, it's going to happen to me because that's just like how my manifestation works. But I haven't had a moment like that in a while that like haunts me.
No,
Other than just like reliving every like interaction that I've ever had with anyone when I get home. Like, and did I sound stupid? Like okay, the other day I did 2 podcasts in a row. And I'm not trying to say like, oh my God, poor me. That job was so hard because all I had to do was talk for 2 hours. But at some points, I disassociate because sometimes I can't listen to myself anymore. Like I get to a point where I'm like, shut the fuck up. And like I was doing Lauren Bostic's podcast and there was like a moment where I just like blanked and it sounded like I like, she asked me like, when did I first meet Craig? And I couldn't think of it. She was like, oh, what was like the timeline of your relationship? And I go, wait, what like year is it? Like, I just like have been disassociated.
you go, I have a boyfriend. No, anxiety will make your like.
No, I have like, so I feel like I have like foggy, like brain fog, like a lot.
For
like,
sure.
Hard.
And that we're senile and we have brain fog.
And I almost bullied an old man. Like,
we're bullying old men and chucking ourselves in front of planes. It's because we haven't drank water since 1984.
No, literally. Thank God for my Stanley.
Also, speaking of traveling, my mom keeps an eye on the Gigglers. She's the mom of the Gigglers. And there's like a Facebook group. And she said that some of the Gigglers were like, started being like, hey, like I'm a Giggler in, you know, like Delaware. Does anyone want to do like a Giggler meetup? And my mom was like, Hannah, it was the cutest thing. Like it was giving like early Giggly Squad energy when you guys, like when everyone was on the Instagram lives. And so you guys, if you're a Giggler in a city and you want to make like cool Giggler friends, do some meetups. That would be sick.
Wait, We have to surprise one of them.
like a The Bachelor, they would do like watch parties, and then like Chris Harrison would just show up, and the girls would be like, "Why are you here? Who let this man into my apartment?"
I feel like we would have to make ours a little bit more graceful, but I would love to do that. Just like randomly show up in a city and go to like whatever bar they're at.
Yeah, I just feel like all the gigglers have the same sense of humor. It's dark and it's disturbing, but it brings people together.
I'm always trying to have a morning routine, and I used to take so many vitamins, and I thought I was doing something really good for my body, but then I just realized I had no idea what I was doing with what vitamins, and I was just feeling stressed, and I always have gut issues. And if you're a longtime listener, then you might know that I've been drinking AG1 for about a year now, maybe 6 months. When I started drinking AG1 daily, I felt such a difference on the weeks that I did it and then on the weeks that I didn't do it. And that's because AG1 is the foundational nutrition supplement that supports your body's universal needs like gut optimization, stress management, and immune support. Since 2010, AG1 has led the future of foundational nutrition, continuously refining their formula to create a smarter, better way to elevate your baseline health. I recommend AG1 to all my family and friends because it truly is the best, and I bring all my travel packets down to Craig's house in Charleston, and I just got a big order so that I don't have to use my travel packets, and now he has it here, which makes my life so much easier. AG1 provides the support my body needs, and that's why I love partnering with them. So if you want to take ownership of your health, it starts with AG1. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/giggly. That's drinkag1.com/giggly. Check it out. Oh my God. Do you want to hear the scariest thing beyond scariest thing ever that happened to me?
In a hotel room?
No, not in a hotel room.
Oh, because I know you're always scared of hotel rooms.
I am always scared of hotel rooms. So the other day, Craig had to go to the store for something. So he said, okay, I'm leaving. So I was going to be home alone. Fully have an alarm system, all of this stuff. But didn't have it on, like had the back door open, honestly. Like it was like a nice day out. He left. It was like 5 o'clock. I was like putting things away in my closet, like cleaning up, like whatever upstairs. I thought I heard something downstairs, and I was like, oh.
That's a problem with living in a house. There's too many corners.
It was like, it solidified. I'm not ready for suburban life. I was like, this house is terrifying.
Did you lock yourself in a room?
So almost. So I hear something downstairs, and I'm like, oh, I get a little scared, but I'm like, oh, the back door was open, and also the TV was on downstairs. It's nothing. 2 seconds later, I'm getting a phone call from a 212 number, from an unknown number, and usually that's my mom. So I usually answer. It's like no caller ID, and I always know it's her. So I answer it, and it's someone just screaming my name incoherently, saying like some things, just like screaming my name. I hang up the phone, and I'm like, the sound I heard downstairs, someone's like coming to get me.
The person goes, the call's coming from inside the house.
No, I was waiting for them to be like,
wait, was it a guy or a girl?
Like, I see a guy.
Oh, hell no. Hell no. If it's a girl, I'm like, sleepover.
So I immediately call Craig, and I'm like, you got to come home. Like, someone's in the house. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
That was me.
Someone's in the house.
Craig's like, I was trying to see you.
Hannah, I go full, like, I always wondered what I was going to be like if one of these situations ever happened to me. And I went full Angelina Jolie Tomb Raider. Like, I was like, are there any weapons in the house?
Oh, wow. The Scorpio and you see me? I'm pretending I'm lying in my bed. That's me in a war. You're like, I'm about to beat this bitch up. Where's the flamethrower?
Honestly, here's why. I am 2 seconds away from getting my period. I can feel it in my stomach. I have a planet on the side of my nose. I dare you.
I wish you would. I wish you would.
I wish this guy would try and come in this house right now.
I've been trying so hard not to fight with Craig for a week. I need to let out some anger.
Craig goes, what did you just say? I go, any weapons in the house?
Also, I'm just envisioning you. I'm envisioning you with like your little cute set and your loafers and your little wavy
In my
socks.
ballet flats.
And then you have your slick back hair, and you have a purse with you for some reason. You always have a little purse. And then you have this weapon, and you're about to beat someone.
Your vision of me is always holding a purse.
Wait, you always have a purse with nothing in it. It's just for style. But Paige, have you seen on TikTok? Someone said like, oh, like girls might have to go to war. So
Yeah.
have you seen that? So all the
No.
girlies on TikTok are making fun of it. I don't think it's true. They all were
Yeah.
like, me if I was at war. And they'd be like, so what is everyone wearing? Like, how are we doing our hair? Is it slick back or not? And then she's like, if my ex is there, I'm not going. And then you're like waiting to do war. And then you're like, I have to pee. Can someone go with me?
No, if that ever happened, well, first of all, we wouldn't get drafted because honestly, I think we're too old.
I know. Which kind of was a.
Wait, that's like low-key, I'm like kind of sad about that. Like,
I was sad, but I was like, at least like me losing collagen is good for something.
I would immediately get pregnant. Are you kidding?
I
would
know how
get
some
pregnant
jobs
so
are
fucking
important.
fast.
I'd be like, we bring humor to the masses. We can't just go to war. This is keeping every girl sane. Every girl
This is-
would get a weapon right now, but they have giggly squad, so they giggle it off.
you know how like sometimes like in old movies they would go and like perform at like jails.
Yeah. No, some comics still perform at like bases, like
Could
military
you
bases.
imagine? Giggly
Imagine me going to
Squad?
a military base and just making fun of men for 2 hours, being like, you gaslighting pieces of shit.
You're like, you're all holding guns. Get a therapist. You guys will go to the last resort to just tell someone how you feel.
I go, are you guys cheating on your girls? Are you cheating? Someone goes, do we get to pick our teams or is it assigned? Like, which team do we play for? And someone goes, has anyone made a Pinterest board for like the outfits?
Oh my god.
Someone goes, what's the parking situation like and will there be food? I just discovered Pinterest where like I started creating a board of like fashion, but when you have to like search for the good stuff, because before I'd just be like fall outfits and I was like, this is bad.
If you're feeling really creative, you can curate such a unique like boards to yourself because you have to search so specifically.
Yeah.
Like I'm always making boards. Like I have so many secret boards.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when I get bored, I'll just like go on and like create vibes kind of. And it's almost like, I don't know, it's just like an outlet. But then like you can go back and look at like certain, it's just like cool to go back and look at like certain styles you like had.
True.
Or things that, because things that you're like, oh, I'll remember to do that, you never remember. And on
No.
Pinterest, you actually do go back and look, I feel like, at like your boards.
Do you have any advice for like keywords or like finding the good outfits?
It has to be really specific to what, like pick out like one key thing that you want the outfit to have and make sure when you're like searching it, it's very specific. So if you're doing like cargo pants, like make sure you're writing in like what color, like multiple pocket, like baggy, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you follow creators on it?
You know what? I actually don't. I don't
So
think.
you don't support women in the arts? I don't feel like it is like that though. You don't follow people.
I don't feel like, yeah, I have no, like I don't even know how many followers I have.
Do you ever
on Pinterest,
shop
or if I
on
even have
Pinterest?
any.
Because you know it gives
Yeah.
shopping options now. That's like
Yeah,
dangerous. Do you buy
it is.
stuff?
I have before, and then it'll also give you things that look similar, which is helpful.
Okay, because this is the one thing I really needed was another social media app to use. So this is really going to be good for me.
When nights I'm not coloring on my iPad, I'm Pinteresting. I'm straight up Pinteresting. Did you see the art I made in Craig's kitchen?
Okay, that was
Pinterest.
way beyond coloring book. That was HGTV show worthy. When are you guys getting an HGTV show?
I'm literally waiting for it. I found that on Pinterest, that picture, like how that girl did that. And I was like, I can do that on that wall.
Wait, so did you buy, like, how did you make it? Can you explain?
So I want to do like a bunch of different gold frames
You're
on
like,
that
so I
wall.
messaged the girl and I was like, can you send it to me?
Can you come over and can you do it? And so I bought all these frames on Amazon because I'm going to do like all these different frames with like different pictures and different art. But I wanted one of them to be like a 3D art.
Yeah.
So then I bought these little vases that like go, like you push them into the wall with like a connector thing. And
or
it
is
like
it,
hangs
is
there.
it vases?
I say vase. Vase.
Gigglers, comment below.
Do you say, wait, do you say, this is OG Giggly Squad. Do you say aunt or aunt? Like, are you Aunt Hannah?
I'm aunt. I say aunt, but I always say
Aunt
aunt
Hannah.
after in case it offended anyone. I go aunt.
Because if you said aunt, you almost have to say Hannah. And that's, like, no, do you feel, like,
Aunt
try
Hannah.
and say Aunt Hannah.
I feel like aunt is
Aunt
like
Hannah.
auntie. And aunt, honestly, I don't like either. I think we need a new name.
Yeah, like aunt, yeah.
They always
It's
go.
funny that you are an aunt, though.
I know. And Lois, Lois is visiting next week
Mm-hmm.
on Halloween. And Jeannie was like, do you want to put together an outfit? And I know it's overplayed, but I have to do it.
Jeannie wants you to put together an outfit for Lois.
For Lois for Halloween.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to surprise the Gigglers, but I put together an outfit for her.
So obviously that's why you needed a Pinterest board.
I was on Pinterest doing that too. I mean,
I have so many ideas.
what are you thinking?
I'm thinking like a spaghetti and meatballs in a pot.
That's cute. I always wanted to do the lobster one where you're holding like a lobster and you're a chef.
Yes. Have you seen like the octopus?
Yeah, I
like,
saw the octopus. I've seen all of them. I think it's not original, but it's original. What are you thinking for your outfit? Or do you want to be surprised?
Okay, so Craig and I did a photo shoot today for our next pillow collab.
Fun.
And actually there was a moment at the photo shoot that he turned and he was like, this is so your vibe and it's so creepy because everything was like very dark and like sultry and like had like an undertone also. Like all the people that work at Sewing Down South are very nice and like Charleston-y, and
Craig was like, were the whips and chains necessary?
this one guy goes, definitely the most shoot we've ever done.
Your head is in the pillow.
Honestly, I'm gonna be serious. It's giving a little bit of like Travis Courtney vibes, and I didn't even mean for that to happen, but like I picked out our outfits, like carefully curated them.
Yeah.
And then we did take, at the end of the photo shoot, I had gotten costumes to recreate a picture for Halloween.
So you got the photo.
We did get the
I'm
photo.
so jealous. I'm going to say it right now. I hate Halloween. I don't like dressing up as someone else. I don't like the stress of the city. I don't like that everyone acts weird and they're like, it's Halloween, so I can act like crazy.
I can't with like it starting the weekend before.
Well, yeah, Halloween's, when did it become a full week? It's not Stassi's birthday, you know? I feel like people are inviting me to parties. I don't know what. No one's ever invited me to a Halloween party before. This year, people are inviting me.
Are you kidding? I haven't gotten one Halloween party invite.
No, but it's not like our friends. It's like generic people.
Didn't come across my desk.
It's like people that friend of a friend, like people who are throwing like Halloween bangers. And
do you are you going to go to any? Do you have to
No,
get an outfit?
I can't. I don't have it
This
in
is-
me.
I have a very important question. What is the last thing you were for Halloween? I feel like I can't think of it. Oh, Post Malone.
I'm always Post Malone.
Yeah.
I guess Post Malone was the last thing I was. However, my token costume when I was younger was I had these brown juicy sweatpants where my butt looked so good. You know when I had the pockets on the butt? And it
you
was
would
like
go as a UPS driver?
that would have been good though. I would wear that with just a brown sweatshirt and little bear ears, and I was a bear. And people would be like, "Are you a teddy bear?" And I'd be like, "No, I'm a bear." And I did that for
Cute.
years because I just want
No,
comfort.
that's cute.
I just want comfort. What was your like token outfit? being a slut.
Hannah, honestly, I have to get my brain checked because I couldn't even tell you one costume I was in college. Like, I have no idea.
Do you know, I think someone should do, because it's kind of trendy, you know how like trench coats are in? Someone should
Yeah.
be like, who's the investigator?
Inspector Gadget.
Yeah, they should be Inspector Gadget. I think that's
Wait,
easy.
I can't believe I just got that.
I love how you can't remember what you had for breakfast this morning and you fought an imaginary person. Wait, what happened? Did you beat the guy up? What happened?
See, we literally can't get through anything. Where even was I?
Okay, the call was coming from inside the house.
So I'm right. So I'm fully convinced that I'm getting murdered.
And you're trying to find a weapon. I love how I casually
like-
was like, I'm over this conversation.
my near-death experience. You're like, what were you for Halloween? A true.
I go, this is
true-
boring. This is boring. What are you going to be for Halloween?
This guy, he's honestly. Thank God it was Scorpio season because I was ready. I was ready to defend my home.
It's a BB gun.
Yeah, basically. Like a fucking
It's a super soaker. I go, gotcha, ruined your leather jacket. You just throw a balloon with water at him. You're like, gotcha. Do you remember when people were like doing that glitter thing? You just give the burglar an
know.
envelope and it opens it up and it's full of glitter and you're like, you just got glitter.
I throw a suction cup dildo. I can't breathe. I literally. Oh, I can't.
Craig goes, get the biggest dildo we have. Honestly, a dildo could knock someone out.
Choking him with like anal beads.
Craig goes, you know how I choke you? Choke him like that. Right until he's about to pass out.
Oh my God, my stomach is literally.
Wait, so you grab the little super soaker.
I'm sitting at the top of the stairs.
Oh, so you're Mrs. Smith.
No, I'm full Mrs. Smith. I have 911 dialed on my phone.
You're in
'Cause
black
I'm like-
lingerie for no reason.
I found myself putting on a red lipstick.
So, you're Lara
'Cause I'm
Croft with a high braid. I love that when you have to fight a burglar, you need to get your outfit right. You go to the burglar, you go, do you like my outfit for this? I'll change. Wait, I have to change my outfit. We can't fight yet.
I'm like, I'm not getting kidnapped in this. These aren't suitable shoes.
You can't kidnap me in this. I'm wearing summer and it's fall.
You want this to be my dying outfit? Are you kidding?
Is there air conditioning in the kidnap place? Because I need to know if I need a sweater.
Oh my God.
So you're at
That
the
was
top
too
of the
much.
stairs.
And I'm thinking to myself, okay, if I hear him downstairs, I'll go out the window and onto the roof.
I'll hide in Craig's hot tub. Thank God he got that hot tub.
He walked in. He goes, it was the hottest thing ever that you were like, do we have any weapons? So if you're trying to f with me, not in Charleston.
Oh my God.
Whatever. So the guy ended up like texting me all this crazy shit, and then I ended
my
up just like
God.
blocking the number. I know, but but then I did think like, oh my God, is this my first stalker?
Oh my God. I mean, I've
I
definitely
know.
had a couple weird ones too.
I just don't know how he got my number. Like, I don't know how he got my number and knew it was me. And then like,
you just like can never answer an unknown caller, and you have to tell your mom to switch because like unknown caller was someone who was saying crazy to me too.
no, it's literally my mom's fault. I was like, are you kidding?
It's your mom. Your enemies are out to get you. Once I got an unknown caller, and it was a girl, and she was just like, Hannah, and And I was like, hello? And she was like, is this Hannah Burner? And I was like,
She's
yeah.
like,
And
"This
she was
is
like, cool.
She was like, this is Southwest customer service."
You're going to be arrested for disorderly conduct in the Southwest airline line, ma'am. The second you call me ma'am, I know that my life is falling apart.
No, I know that I am now in a situation that I did not
wanna be.
calculate precisely.
I want to be like, I don't identify as ma'am. Don't ever call me that again. I actually had there's the scariest story of in our Brooklyn house, like my dad's sister once. This is so scary. I don't want to freak people out, but this is the real world. She was
Whatever. It's Halloween time.
It's Halloween, spooky. So we lived in this brownstone. I wasn't alive yet, but my dad grew up there. And there's 2 floors. And she was showering on the bottom floor alone. She got out of the shower and she hears footsteps upstairs. And this house was so old, but like, so the footsteps would always like creak, but like you could tell that it was like unfamiliar footsteps. Does that make sense?
Yes. Of course. You know every if you don't know every family member by footstep, you were adopted.
You were adopted.
Like, for sure.
I'm Heavyfoot Hannah. They call me that for a reason. Yeah, you know everyone's steps. So she basically was hearing like weird kind of steps upstairs. And she was young. I think she was like 13 or 14. And she like put some clothes on and she just like walks upstairs and opens the door. And there's a guy, a man, just standing there. And she's just staring at him. And I think she just like got in shock. And the guy was just like, I'm not going to hurt you. I'm sorry. I'm going to leave now. And she was just staring at him and he like walks out and leaves. So like they were planning on like robbing, but they like clearly messed up. And he, instead of like hurting her, was just like,
Hannah, that's why Craig didn't come home. He goes, it's the middle of the day. They don't want you. They want the stuff if there's someone in there. I go, they take one look at me. They're stuffing me in the back of the car. Are you kidding?
Wait, I love how he was like, they can take my TV. I don't care. Just don't talk to them.
He was like, it's the middle of the day. Duh. Everybody knows this.
But I guess she was just looking and he was like, no harm, no foul. Let's pretend this didn't happen.
What a New York City story.
That was the most New York ever. He was like, yo, my bad.
Yeah,
that was my bad.
No, you're right. You caught me.
You didn't see nothing.
And I'll be on my way.
I'll be on my way. This is wrong room. I was trying to rob a different room. I'm sorry. And then that was that. And I grew up living in that house. And my dad would always tell me that story.
Traumatizing.
No, I know. Oh, poor girl.
Like, I was always wondered, like, if something like that were to happen, would I go fight or flight? Like, would I be in such a state of shock that, like, I wouldn't be able to do something? Or would I be calm and be like, do we have any weapons in the
I
house?
always feel like I can talk myself out of things, which is clearly not true because I just cry in every tense situation. But I thought I'd be like, yo, we're friends. Like, I think you're a vibe. Your energy is good. I can already tell.
Yeah.
I'm a Leo. I could tell you're like a Libra, Aquarius. I understand. Look, what do you need? Let's talk it out.
Let's talk this out.
Did your mom not love you as a kid? Like, let's let it out, babe. Let it out.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
You're yelling. Like, you're not mad at me. You're mad at your dad.
The guy's like, ma'am, I'm about to steal everything in this house, ma'am.
Wait. I have a new show that is so good, Hannah.
Uh-huh.
It's on Apple TV, based on a true story. Brie Larson is the main character. The theory of
Chemistry?
Yes.
I saw that. Apple TV, you guys, don't sleep on Apple TV.
It is so good. I've watched the first 3 episodes. I watched them on the flight to Charleston. I literally binged. New episodes come out on Friday. It's about this woman who is like the super smart scientist, but because she lived in like the 50s, they wouldn't let women basically do anything. So she is like so smart, and she ends up becoming like a famous chef on TV, and like people fall in love with her, and she has this like complete career pivot. It's so good.
Is it a real person?
No, it's for the girls. Like, she was so ahead of her time. She was like, I'm not getting married and I'm not having kids, because you either choose that or you choose doing anything else. And like, the women are so mean to her. Like, it's so good.
I love that. I also, it's crazy to think that like just 70 years ago, women were literally like property.
No, like she couldn't put her name on like a scientific research paper because they were like, you're a woman. Like we would be laughed at in the scientific community. Like it's just crazy to think like, okay, this was like 1956. I mean, our
Yeah.
grandmas would have been like growing up. Like,
Yeah.
they wouldn't have, but like, it's just like it wasn't that long ago.
Yes. Speaking of grandmas, shout out to Nana. She had a very difficult last couple weeks. She was in the hospital. She's 82, so she's been, fighting, and she's out of the hospital finally. And she wanted to give me her eggplant parmesan recipe to put in the newsletter this week.
No. Hannah, I'm gonna start crying.
No,
I'm
don't
literally
cry.
getting my period, and I'm gonna
She's
start
like,
crying.
I
That is
live
the
to see another day.
That is so sweet. Oh my God. If everyone doesn't message Nana right now and then like make a lasagna and bring it to someone you love, you're not a giggler.
So this is the thing with Nana. Like, she is a public figure, which is kind of crazy. So she's like, I was bawling. Like, I was beyond myself when I heard that she wasn't doing well, because it kind of came out of nowhere. And then I wasn't going to post anything, and I didn't want people freaking out. And I'm like, maybe she wants to keep this private.
Yeah.
Then she posts she posts a statement.
Yeah, I
Like,
saw.
This is like, she's that.
She has to
She
let the
posts a
people know.
statement from the hospital apologizing to her fans that she's going to have to be off Instagram for a bit because this is in the hospital.
She's like, I'm taking a social media break.
She was like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, Nana, the fans are going to be okay. But she's like, everyone knows I post at 7 a.m. every day, and they're like not going to know where I am. So she got all
No,
these
she's
messages
so
and comments,
sweet.
and it like really, really meant so much to her. So anyway, shout out to Nana. We love you.
Oh my God, that's the sweetest thing ever.
The Golden Bachelor doesn't hold a candle to Nana.
No, Nana would have crushed. Honestly, Papa would have let Nana go on the show just to like crush it.
just to get followers. Nana's the only
Yeah.
influence. Everyone's like, it's so real. And Nana's like, I'm trying to get followers. My outfit, swipe up. She's like, look, I just want to get to the final, so I become the Bachelorette. That's really all I'm here for.
No, that's
She's like, let's be honest, the man would never have a shot with me.
everyone's playing checkers. Nana's straight up playing chess in there. She's like,
Speaking of drama, are you on lesbian TikTok drama right now? Because I am.
no, the lesbian community, it's so funny because I'm watching a video the other night and it started out like our favorite lesbian couple, and it said like all this like they were getting canceled for it, and Craig was like, is that your lesbian couple? And I was like, no, literally it's TikTok's lesbian couple.
No, there are the Southern lesbians who are
Yeah.
in a lot of trouble. And then there's the soccer community. Have you I sent
No.
it to you.
The soccer community is a buzz.
I want a reality TV show of a soccer team, because this is the thing. Some of them are hooking up, some of them are getting
Yeah.
married, some of them are breaking
Yeah.
up, but they're still on the national team. So imagine being like, I'm not kicking it to Stephanie. She cheated on me.
No, the mental warfare that must go on a women's professional team out on the field, like it couldn't the guys would be lost 2 minutes in. They'd have no fucking idea what's going on.
That's why when you're watching women's soccer, there's levels going on. There's layers.
No.
You have to unpack it. It's not just USA versus Britain, okay?
The competitiveness, not only like physically, but the way now people are talking on like trash talking, like the people involved in this scandal, like the soccer players, is top tier gossip, I would say.
Yep.
And top tier like,
Do you want to explain it? Or do you want me to take a stab?
you take a stab because I don't know their names.
I only know the first names. So Ashlyn,
yeah.
it's giving red
Is-
flag. Ashlyn.
Is the blonde.
Ashlyn is this like beautiful high cheekbone. She's giving like female kind of vibes.
She has the mullet. She's
a
right?
mullet. Yeah.
She wears a ring on every finger.
Yes. I
Yeah.
mean,
We
It's-
know them.
it's giving red flags. But then we have Allie, who's her wife, and they have 2 children together.
A stunning, gorgeous woman.
And she's stunning, gorgeous. Fun fact: Allie plays and Ashlyn is on the bench. That's just a side note.
But it's good to know. It's relevancy.
It's relevancy. So then Sophia Bush comes into the picture and is on a panel with Ashlyn that apparently they were like flirty. Ashlyn that night,
I think like in the south of France.
Somewhere romantic.
Yeah. So like the vibes must have been vibing.
The vibes were vibing. Ashlyn, I don't know if it was that night. I don't want to get, this is all like, we don't know if this is all true. But
she goes home from that trip.
And says, I'm divorcing you. And Allie's like, why? And she was like, I'm not talking about it. Which is like, that's detailed information.
And then spotted with Sophia Bush.
And then one of my friends, who I'm not going to throw into it, is a top athlete. And she's like friends with all of them. So I'm going to see if I could get the tea.
No,
but you know how like it's
tea.
like when Vanderpump happened, like I didn't like immediately text Sheena. Like I had to play it cool for
right.
a bit.
No, you have to,
so it seemed like it was their idea to tell me, you know? So I'm not about to text her about it.
We're going to play the long game.
I'm gardening. I'm manifesting. So I'm going to get to the bottom of this. But Sophia Bush.
What a shocking
turn of events.
Do you want to know something? I always felt like every guy, I've been a fan of Sophia Bush for forever. I loved One Tree
so
Hill.
Beautiful.
She's so gorgeous. And for whatever reason, every guy she was always with, I always did feel like, I don't feel like that's her vibe. Like, I just always felt like she was with, like, the wrong people. And so now for her to be allegedly dating the soccer player, I was like, this actually kind of makes sense.
Well, as we know from the beginning of the pod, you definitely support the lesbian community.
No, I fully support it.
But then Erin Foster jumps into the mix.
Oh, yes.
And she says, look at me doing front page news. I'm nervous. She says that Chad Michael Murray cheated on her when she was like living with him or something with Sophia Bush, something that someone else like denied, but she was throwing herself in. But long story short, Allie is now like in the playoffs and she posted a photo and she was like in my Beyonce Lemonade era. And all these like top soccer girls and just people in general are like commenting under the photo, like, let's go, like having her back. So,
oh my God.
I mean, all is fair in love and war. Like, I get it if the girl
and
moved
they
on.
had 2 kids.
It's just salacious. It's salacious.
They also had 2 kids together, you know?
No, I know.
Like, we're like, look, Sophia Bush, I feel like, okay, she was married for a year. It didn't work out. I feel like that is such a different situation because she didn't have kids that, like, you feel, it's like, oh, but you're doing this to more people than just your ex now.
Yeah. But again, obviously if people aren't happy, get out. But it's a messy game. And
it was quick. It's just quick.
It's in the public eye. So we'll be keeping an eye on that, see how it plays out.
Lesbian TikTok is having a moment.
I was trying so hard to get on it and like wasn't letting me on it.
I know. I'm so happy you're here though. Welcome. It's a wonderful community.
It is a wonderful community.
we love it.
I'm like, I'm not a lesbian, but I am lesbian TikTok. I feel like you have to be a cool straight girl to get on lesbian TikTok.
Okay, I didn't want to say it, but I was like, I feel like this says something about me. You know, how could I make it about me? And I'm like, I give the vibes.
Well, we have spoken where like I could see you having like a Miley Cyrus moment.
I actually want to hear something so funny. I just listened to, I saw like a clip on Instagram of Shep giving an interview about me, and he said, he's like, she's kind of like a guy. But then like turned it into a compliment. He was like, you know, she's just like really independent and like likes to do what she wants.
Or a black cat.
I was like, or a Scorpio.
I love how Southern men are describing New York girls. They're like, she's kind of like, she doesn't wear any bows in her hair.
He's like, she's kind of progressive. She leaves
she like votes and stuff. It's crazy.
And it was kind of hilarious. I was like, thank you so much.
We have to wrap it up. Any thoughts on, they're calling it Trelsey? No. To Kelsey? What is it? What are they calling Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce? Something, I didn't love it. I think it's Telsey.
Telsey?
No, Swift till, I don't know. I lost it.
If it doesn't come to your mind in 2 seconds, I don't want it. I wouldn't refer to it. I wouldn't claim it as mine.
That was me
You know?
in San Francisco trying to remember the girl's name.
Like what? Like yours? What would yours and Des be? Pez,
Pez.
Dana,
Yeah, it does. You and Craig are
Peg,
Peg.
and like I don't claim that.
Or
I'm not
Crage.
claiming it.
Crage.
Crage, yeah, but it's just I don't claim them. You know, they're not for me.
Do you have any final thoughts on it? She did her handshake, which I mean,
Oh yeah, she did her handshake.
I love a
also
handshake.
there's a lot of sports gossip and drama happening right now, and
It's a
I'm
lot.
not read up on the Mahomes. I feel like
about the Mahomes brother or something. Yeah, there's like weird stuff going on.
yeah. So people were like confused that she became such good friends with Britney, which like I don't know enough.
Yeah.
But look, I think it actually who did I see on TikTok was talking about this? Oh, girl Boss Town. She was saying how crazy that Brittany Mahomes met her husband in high school. We're all the same age, which means she listened to Taylor Swift in high school thinking about her future husband. She's now at the NFL watching her husband be the star player, sitting next to Taylor Swift. And we all heard the songs in high school, and she was like,
Yeah.
that must just be such a crazy moment for her
Yeah.
to be like enjoying.
I feel like Taylor Swift is such a performer. Like I love watching her at like all these award shows because like she's performing in the stands too. Like she
gives it her
giving-
all.
She's giving her all. So I really
Yeah.
feel like she's doing some kind of performative bit of like
Yeah.
I'm in the bleachers
She
like
gives-
that. What is it called? She's cheer captain. She's being cheer captain,
Yeah.
and he's the like she's
Yeah.
like living that moment.
It's so great. That song, everyone loved that song, and I literally hated that song because I was like, okay, they're kind of like describing me, and I just feel like that's rude.
Were you cheer captain?
Yeah, but I just
What? You were
And
cheer
I was like-
captain?
yeah, I was captain of the cheerleading team, and I just
You
felt like it was.
monster. You
I know,
literal
I was like-
monster.
I was like, I've been dating my boyfriend for a while, and I'm pretty sure he loves me, and I love him, and like this just seems like very attack.
You're like, you don't love him more than I do.
I'm like, I also have feelings, and people are mean to me too, but like I can't ever say it.
Wait, that is so funny. That's like someone doing a song
Yeah.
like, you always talk about being from Brooklyn, playing tennis, and like I'll always love him more. And I'm like, wait, why do we
It
all like
seems
this song?
very pointed.
Pointed.
Seems
Wait,
like
that is
someone's
so
trying to say
I didn't even
something.
know you cheerleaded.
Yeah, all
Could
through
you
high school.
could
Except
you
that I
do
quit
like
my
the
senior year.
splits or something?
I couldn't do any splits, but I was the girl that I would get thrown in the air.
Oh wow,
Yeah, I was a little tumbling tyke up there.
tyke.
But then I quit my senior year because I wanted to show my outfits at the football games, and I wanted to hang out with my boyfriend. And like,
That's so funny because I was just
Sneak
playing the
alcohol.
sports and we had no cheerleaders because no one cared about women's sports. Anyway, thank you guys
Thanks
so
for
much
giggling with
for giggling with us. Sign up for our newsletter. It's in the link in our bio on Instagram and I think our personal ones too. And yeah, we love you guys so much. Bye.